Welcome back, everyone. I'm continuing with the Sherlock Holmes Book Nook. This set is just awesome. In part one, we built one half of the Book Nook. A lot of great features in here. Please go check out the video. And in this video, I think we should finish the rest of the Book Nook. So we're going to be building the second half, then we're going to be putting the sides on, and then I'll do a final review. So let's get right to it. So we're starting with bag number 5. There's one minifig in this bag of parts. This is one of the Baker Street Irregulars, little minions that help Sherlock Holmes out. A good looking minifig. And it comes with a custom printed brick. And I say custom because it's specific to the set, I'm sure, because it says Moriarty disappears. It's a newspaper. And there's 2 of these. I'm curious how similar the second side will be to the first in terms of its construction. I imagine it's going to have the same sloping profile. More cobblestone street. These flat bricks are always a pain to pull up later. That's why the brick separator comes in handy. So it alternates between the flat bricks and the bricks with a stud on it. And the bricks with a stud are so that the minifigs have something to attach to. Nice cobblestone street. I mentioned in my last video that some sets are really boring to build, but this set is really fun to build. And the reason why I say it's fun is because there's so much detail and the construction techniques used are interesting and it keeps your mind active. So you don't zone out when you build. You actually have to pay attention to what you're doing, which to me is fun. The more engaged I am, the more fun I'm having. Good start. Next up though is a big sub-assembly. Another sticker. Oh, again, I hate the ones that go inside another brick. Can never get the alignment correct. That one didn't do too bad. It shows a small shelf and a coat on a hanger. Oh, yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I don't think I've seen this before. So obviously this is a door. The giant sticker that goes on here. Oh, this is going to be horrible. Because it has to go around the doorknob. How am I going to do this? This might be a two-hander. And then how big is this? Why do they do this? Why don't they just make this printed? This is so difficult. Maybe I should go this way. Too close to the edge. I mean, it looks okay. I just prefer not to have a sticker that large. Just like in the first half, the door covers up the sticker behind, but I'm realizing now I was complaining about how in the first video, the door covered up the sticker behind, and then I completely forgot you can open the door. Duh. That's a nice detail. Little flowers on either side of the door. There's a hinge at the bottom, another hinge here. So just like in part 1, this wall is going to slope from this side to that side. So just a little bit of a close-up here. These rounded 1x1 flat tiles here, having that rounded edge allows the rounded part of the hinge to sit in that pocket and have everything be flush. If that was square, of course that wouldn't fit. So that sits at an angle just like in part 1. And the last printed brick, the newspaper, is being used here to represent a stack of newspapers on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and put my minifig on here. That's the end of bag number 5. Good start. No functionality yet. I'm wondering if they're going to build in any functionality on this side like they did on the other side. We'll find out shortly. Let's get right into bag number 6. Another sticker. Really small ones are almost as hard to do as the really big ones. This sticker is the famous 221B. This piece goes along the back here. A couple hanging lanterns. Well, so far there isn't really any functionality on this side other than that door opening. I'm hoping that changes. I installed this backwards. It should be that way. The groove's facing on the inside. Well, that is the end of bag number 6. It's mostly this side detail and a little bit of the roof. I do like this corner detail. It gives it a nice, interesting profile to look at. But no functionality yet, other than this opening door. Otherwise, it's just static on this side. Still looks nice though. I'm hoping in the next couple bags of parts there's a little bit of functionality up here. That'd be great. Next up is bag number 7. Well, in bag 7 we have Sherlock Holmes himself. Pretty plain looking minifig. I like the hat. It's his classic hat. He's got a fabric cape. The expression on his face is quite neutral and very plain. I thought there'd be like more lines on his face, maybe make him look a little bit older. He looks quite young. The cool thing is he's got a magnifying glass and it actually magnifies. Not well, but it does work. I think we'll put him down here. From what I could see with the parts on the table, I don't think there's any functionality on this side. Right, we got a nice printed brick. It's a clock and another sticker. I want to make sure I get this the right orientation. Stickers depicting a couple of lamps and a picture of what I believe is Reichenbach Falls. Clock printed brick is quite nice. So this assembly is a fireplace with a picture above, and it's got some pretty good detail. Apart from the sticker, translucent fire element, a white smoke element, looks pretty cool. Sits up here just exposed. Another printed brick, an envelope. Ooh, and a violin with some great printed detail on the front. So this assembly has a shelf with the envelope, a small hanger with the violin, and what I believe is, I'm going to call it a bellows for fanning the fire. Last sticker, and it's a big one. Again, it goes on the inside. How big is this? Not quite. The sticker is a map of London, I believe, with references to some of Sherlock Holmes' cases. I can see the dancing men. There's a red herring. Up in the top is Rache, which is from A Study in Scarlet. Just wish it wasn't a sticker. So for 221B Baker Street, looks like Sherlock Holmes' room is just open-faced to the street. I feel like I'm missing a brick here. If I put this there, there'll be a gap underneath it. Did I do something incorrectly there? Many, many pages ago, I missed putting an additional hinge right here, which just floats over top of that. And now this can sit on top of that. So there's a hinge here just kind of flapping in the wind. Wonder what that's going to be used for. Another one of these snake bricks, as seen in part 1. All right, that's the end of bag 7. Looks like the second floor is done. Again, no functionality. I guess there's a little bit left to do here, and then the roof. And then our side detail done here, just like in part 1. Looking pretty good. Let's get right into bag number 8. There are a lot more parts in bag 8 than I thought there'd be. Because I was wrong. This isn't going to be exposed. There's going to be a covering on the front here, and that's what we're going to be building next. I need 14 of these. They all go along here. A lot of windows. Well, that construction went quickly because most of the parts are fairly large. Well, that looks good. You know, another hinge here. That would explain this hinge down here. That should sit right in there. And because it's got the hinge on the one side only, this can open up. So here's the functionality for the second half, is being able to open this up to see inside Sherlock Holmes's house. Well, we're not done with the second half yet, but now we get to join the two halves together. So bring in the half from part one. This hinge will join right into this pocket right here. Oh, I'm liking this already. I'll turn this around. That's what it looks like so far. Again, we're not done. And then closing it up. I'm not going to snap it closed, but you can see how with those sloping sides, you can see the detail all the way to the back. That's really cool. So right in here, we need to put this other hinge. That'll tie the top half together. So now it's tied in two spots. I imagine there'll be another one up top here. Sure enough, there's another hinge up here. Well, that's the end of bag number 8. Most of this is now done. There's going to be a little bit more detail going on the front here in bag number 9. But the city scene is pretty much done. I love this. It's been a while since I've been so enthralled with a set, but I love this just from the functionality, just how it looks, and we're not even done yet. 2 bags left, 9 and 10. Let's get right into bag number 9 and get this set finished off. Well, in bag 9, there's one last minifig, and it's Moriarty. Got kind of a double cape going on here. Only one expression on his face. Now, they show him being displayed on this stand because he's meant to go in here. And I think the stand just helps him fit into this pocket better and stand upright. And then you can lower the door back down to conceal him so he can be revealed. Now to finish off some of the roof detail. This goes on the side. Now to do one of the covers. So I'm going to get this out of the way because this is going to be a big assembly. Pretty simple, just one cover. Bring this back. There's all these side-facing studs on here. So this is symmetrical. Just press it up against the side. That's the end of bag number 9. So we got the rest of the roof detail done. Most of it, I think. And then one cover put on the side. One bag of parts left to go. Let's just get right into it. One last cover, get this out of the way. This side's a little bit different with a little bit of an added surprise here. Isn't that awesome? All with just standard parts, mostly standard parts. There's a couple, not unique, but more uncommon parts. Still, from a distance, I can even see on camera, this looks amazing as a silhouette. This goes on our other side. That is awesome. I love it. A few small details left to go. A couple street lamps. And the very last thing are 2 printed bricks that say Baker Street. And I'm glad these are printed. They could have just as easily been a sticker, but I think being printed, I don't know why they chose to make it go printed, but I'm glad that they did. This will go up here. We are done. So closed up, you can see Baker Street, got the lamps on the front, nice corner detail here. And you can see inside, you can see the detail. This would be a great set to have some lights on the inside. I will take a picture of this in an actual bookshelf just to show you what it looks like. Great outside detail. I really love this silhouette. It looks very much like the Sherlock Holmes silhouette you'll see on some of the movies and DVDs. This side is just plain. I think it would actually have been nice to have the silhouette on both sides. I don't know why they only did it on the one. You can easily open this up. There's a hook and claw assembly up here, which is very, very gentle. It doesn't take very much force to open that up. You can open this all the way up to show the whole city scene and a little bit of functionality on each side. So on this side, we've got this door that you can open to reveal Moriarty inside there. That's a great detail. And there's this rotating storefront, which you can rotate to show a clue inside in an envelope. Get my minifigures out of the way here. There's a door here that you can open to reveal a little bit of detail on the inside. Some stickers in there. These guys back on. There's the Watson minifig. We've got Irene Adler minifig. One of the Baker Street Irregulars minifig, Sherlock Holmes, and of course we just saw Moriarty. On this side, as a part of a bit of functionality, the front of this can open to show 221B interior, showing a fireplace and a bit of a mantle, map of London with some of his clues on there. And close that back up. And then down below, just another door with a bit of a sticker detail on the inside. So you can definitely play with this a little bit. I was quite frankly just expecting it to be static. I like that it has some playability and functionality to it. You can display it a little bit open if you like, all the way closed. Overall, I am quite impressed with this. Not only the level of detail, but the built-in functionality. There's some interesting construction techniques. I can't say enough good things about this. As of this taping, it should probably still be available because it just came out in June of 2025. What do you think of the set? Please let me know in the comments. I might consider getting a light kit for this if they have one available, or even just a generic light kit, because I think this would look really awesome, closed up with some lights. Even just some lights in the back here, shining forward, would be great. I've never done a light kit before. This might be a good place to start with one. Thank you so much for watching the building of this awesome set. I will have something new for next week.